still an odd thing. It's an odd path to navigate, and you feel alone for a while until you find somebody to like that's gone through the same thing.
Mm.
And I
Thanks
think
for
you've
opening
been,
up about
of
that
course.
because uh, I'm actually in no contact with my mom as well. Although we just texted the other day
Yeah.
because I don't like I'm not completely like shutting her off as in like I'm not gonna ever talk to you ever again kind of thing. It was
Hmm.
more of like I'm setting my boundaries because it's not good for my mental health kind of thing. So we
Yeah.
do, we greet each other on holidays and birthdays, and sometimes we text, but we kind of agreed that we should never be that involved in each other's lives because
Hmm.
it's not healthy for the both of us kind of thing. um and I don't think it's like that you should be ashamed or that you're in no contact. I think it should be a source of pride in my opinion, because to me personally, I think it takes a lot of courage to go against the grain because
Hmm.
people are gonna judge you no matter what. But the closest to you would say, but that's your parent, you know no matter what you
That's
do,
what.
that's your parent. Like, what are you gonna do? What about your memories? What about, if they suddenly die and you didn't get the chance to spend time with them?
Hmm.
And with me, it's like people wouldn't understand, and they would be so quick to judge when they truly don't know the situation. If you're
But
doing it
it's
for your mental health, like I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of at all.
no, because
Yeah.
if it was a friend or a romantic partner or like somebody else, if anybody else treated you that way enough to make you be like, I can't be around you, like no one would blink an eye. They'd just be like, oh, you got rid of a toxic friend, you
Right,
got rid of a toxic partner. But when you
right,
do
right.
that to a parent, like I'm so glad that the stigma is starting to go away and people are realizing like you do deserve respect and a good relationship
Exactly.
between your family, but
Yeah,
like there's still that little stigma. It's starting to go
yeah.
away, but
No, because the way I look at it is they're your family. So they
yeah,
shouldn't be doing those toxic things to you, or they shouldn't be creating a toxic environment for
exactly.
your family in the first place. And for you to set a boundary, I think it's a new thing. Like as you said, like there's
Mhm.
stigma to it, but I'm glad that our generation is waking up to that because it doesn't mean that your family that you have all the rights to abuse me all my life. No,
Exactly. For me,
that's
it was so weird because like I said, when I did it, I wasn't around a lot of people that were used to that idea. I know there
mhm,
was other people doing it at the same time as me. I'm not a pioneer by any means, but
mhm.
like it was so weird, especially for like my other family members and for my friends because all they all saw exactly what I was going through and
Mhm.
they validated like, hey, the way that she speaks to you, the way what you're dealing with is not right. And so when I finally had the choice as an adult to be like, no, like I've I know what you're doing to me is wrong. I know what you're saying to me is wrong, and I'm done with it. And I wrote
Mhm.
out like a letter and I was like, this is what I need in order for us to have a relationship. And never heard anything back. But then,
Mhm.
like, all the people that had validated what she was doing was wrong
Mhm.
immediately, like, switched sides. And they're like, but that's your mom. Like, why would you do that? I'm
Yeah.
like, but you saw everything. Like, why? I was not anticipating for them to act that way. I was more, and I wasn't looking for them to like validate my reason on going no contact. I was just
Mhm.
looking for a little bit of support to be like, hey, I hope you're okay. Like that's really all I
Yeah.
wanted. But
Or the just not judge
yeah,
you for doing it.
don't
Is
judge me,
that
especially when you saw the situation. Like
yeah.
it's so
To
weird.
just put themselves in your shoes for a second and how they would
Yeah.
feel, being in that situation. My closest friends, the very first friends I made when I moved here in the United States, at first they were like, "Oh, that's your mom, and you can't do that. That's not even part of our culture. Like that's very disrespectful." And over the years, they kept reminding me, but then they kept seeing what's happening. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom, she's not verbally abusive at all. She's not. She's a very nice lady. Only, and I understand that where she's coming from is also because she's went through so much in her life, right?
Exactly.
And when they became parents, like they could only do their best. It just imagine like us if we became parents right now
Yeah,
and we're dealing with our mental health. I think we're bound to make mistakes as well.
of course. There's no like foolproof way to parent.